Major funding for these broadcasts has been provided by grants from New York Community Bank, Capital One Bank, Eastern Consolidated, M&T Bank, Sterling National Bank, Meridian Capital Group, Customers Bank, Aerial Property Advisors, Perfect Building Maintenance. Additional funding has been provided by AKA Hotels, Corman Communities, AmTrust Title Insurance Company, AVR Realty Company, Avison Young, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Bank Leumi USA, Briarwood Organization, CBRE, Chase Commercial Term Lending, Chase Mortgage Lending, Citizens Bank, Cohen Equities, Colliers International NYC, Collins Building Services, Connect One Bank, CPEX Real Estate Services, Dime Community Bank, Douglaston Development, Levine Builders, Flushing Bank, Friedman LLP, Genova Burns, Handro Properties, Handler Real Estate Organization, HAP Investments, Hodges Ward Elliott Inc., Investors Bank, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Center at Syracuse University, Kilroy Architectural Windows, Madison Realty Capital, Matone Group, Mercantile Bank, New Banks, Newmark Grubb Knight Frank, Optimum Window Manufacturing Corp., People's United Bank, Polsonelli, Rosewood Realty Services, SJP Properties, Stonehenge Partners, TD Bank, Terra CRG, the Knackle Group at Cushman & Wakefield, Maring Goff Family Foundation, the Moynihan Group, and these friends.
Dublin, Shanghai Shek, Bronx, New York, St. Vincent's Hospital, Norwalk, Connecticut, wrestling, running, NYU, Wagner School, Teach America, ESD, Brooklyn Partnership, YMCA. I got a very interesting guy. I got Joe Chan today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So tell me, as I was alluding before about the family, tell me about your father's side, because your father's side was part of the Chinese before Mao.
Exactly. My grandfather was actually fairly high up in Chiang Kai-shek's world. He was Minister of Health for the province formerly known as Canton. So when Mao came to power in 1949, my entire family actually had to leave. So my grandfather left China along later with his family, and they made their way to the United States via Hong Kong.
They came
London.
to New York City?
They ultimately came to New York City, yes.
And what Grandpa do afterwards?
He actually was retired by the time that he got here. But his sons actually became doctors and engineers and really made a great lives for themselves here in New York City.
So tell me a little bit about your dad.
Well, my dad was an engineer. He went to high school at the Oratory in New Jersey and ultimately went to the Pratt Institute. And he lived in New York City, lived in Chinatown, and met my mom while he lived in Chinatown.
And your mother came from Dublin. She was an au pair, right?
Exactly. My mom came to the U.S. when JFK was president. She was a working class Dubliner and saw a great opportunity in the United States. She first became an au pair in D.C., actually went back to Dublin for a little bit, then came back to the States to New Haven, Connecticut, then ultimately made her way here to New York City.
So how'd she meet your dad?
At a dance in Lower Manhattan. It's a great New York story.
So your mom and dad, they get married, and you're living in the Bronx at this time?
Correct, in the Kingsbridge section.
In the Kingsbridge section. As you said to me, you were born in St. Vincent's Hospital in Manhattan.
Correct.
And your two daughters were also born
exactly
subsequently in St.
All on the 9th floor.
What happens next?
So I lived in the Bronx until I was 7. I went to kindergarten at PS 95 and then first and second grade at a school called Visitation. Then my dad got a job offer in Norwalk, Connecticut. Again, he was an engineer. And so I was an only child, so it was really me, my mom, my dad. We all moved to Norwalk, Connecticut. And I went to public school there. My parents had a very rocky marriage. My dad actually ended up leaving my mom less than a year after moving to Norwalk, Connecticut.
Now, so your mom is there, a working woman with a son. And what happens when you're in the 5th grade?
So when I was in the 5th grade, I had really been a latchkey kid because my mom had to work. And my mom came home one probably May afternoon and said, "I've got great news for you. This summer, you're going to go to a summer enrichment program on the grounds of the New Canaan Country School." I said, "What's a summer enrichment program?" And she said, "It's like camp, except they have classes in the morning." And I stopped her right there and I said, "Classes? Why would I want to have classes in the morning?" I ended up going through this program. Long story short, it was one of the most impactful moments in my life when my mom came home and told me that she decided to enroll.
So let's talk about the program. What happened?
Absolutely. So the program was called Horizons at New Canaan Country School, and it took economically disadvantaged children from the cities of Norwalk and Stamford and brought them onto the campus of the New Canaan Country School, which is a great private school on a bucolic campus in New Canaan, Connecticut. The target of the program was twofold, or there was really two targets. The first was to stop working class kids from falling academically behind during the summer. And the second was to expose the students to a world that they normally wouldn't be exposed to. Whether it was learning to swim at private pools in New Canaan, Connecticut, going on camping trips in Sharon, Connecticut, and going to Broadway shows. All a bunch of opportunities and experiences that I might not have had if not for Horizons.
What happens from that? Another great opportunity happens.
So from there, I was enrolled in the Horizons program at New Canaan Country School. Some of the staff at Horizons said, "You should really test for the New Canaan Country School program." I did, and I ended up getting a full ride to the New Canaan Country School, which put me on a different academic trajectory.
So how many years are you at the New Canaan Country School?
3 years for 7th, 8th, and 9th grades.
So now it's time for high school. And what happens then?
So for high school, most of the students who went to the New Canaan Country School would go to private schools. The vast majority of them would go to boarding schools. I went to a boarding school called Loomis Chafee in Windsor, Connecticut.
And you also received the scholarship for that.
Full ride at Loomis.
But there at Loomis, you were a 119-pound lightweight, okay, right? And you wrestled.
I did wrestle. Wrestling became a major component of my life moving forward after that. But I was lucky enough to actually win the state championship at Loomis.
Growing up, did you have any jobs during the summer, or?
I did. I actually worked at Horizons between 9th grade and my freshman year of college as a teacher's assistant.
In the New Canaan program?
At the New Canaan Country School program, yes.
Which is important because later on it comes back Horizon over there.
Exactly.
So now you're graduating your school, Loomis?
Yep.
How did you decide that you wanted to go to NYU?
From the moment I left the Bronx when I was 7, I knew I wanted to get back to New York City. There was just something that I couldn't explain, an energy that we all get captivated by that drew me back to the city. So when it came time for college, I decided I wanted to go to NYU, and I was lucky enough to get in.
But you start at NYU at the Stern School. You're
Correct.
at the business school, and what happens at the Stern School? You decide that you wanted to be creative like your father with Pratt. Okay, you wanted to be more involved with urban planning, right?
Yes, I love cities, and I wanted to figure out what made cities tick, and most importantly, what made New York City tick. NYU has a program called the Metropolitan Studies program, so I actually switched from the Stern School to the College of Arts and Science and enrolled in the Metropolitan Studies program.
And during school, did you have any jobs when you were working at NYU?
I did. I worked my summer of my freshman year at Horizons. I worked at the gym, which is where I spent a lot of time because I also wrestled at NYU.
Right, you wrestled at NYU over there. You graduated NYU what year?
In 1993.
So it's 1993, and you want to give back, so you go to Teach America.
Exactly.
Tell me about that and the experience of those 3 years, initially in the Bronx.
Absolutely. When I was thinking about what I wanted to do after I graduated, I wanted to give back because I had benefited so greatly from those who had kind of prioritized education for working class kids. Teach for America is a program that takes students who haven't majored or minored in education and, like the Peace Corps, trains them quickly and puts them in the poorest urban and rural school districts throughout the country. I taught South Bronx in New York.
Right, and there you
93 to
taught in the
96.
5th and the 6th grade.
5th and 6th grade. And I have to tell you, Michael, it was the toughest and most demanding job that I ever had, and had the greatest amount of highs and the greatest amount of lows. Turns out I realized that I would be a good teacher. I probably
No,
wasn't.
but after that, you then went to Long Island City, correct?
Correct, yes.
And you had taught 1 year in Long Island City.
Well, no, I actually taught 3 years in the South Bronx.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, as you were saying, you said, I'm a good teacher, but I'm not a great teacher. So then you decided that it was time to go to the Wagner School.
Correct.
Wagner School, tell me about the Wagner School at NYU.
Well, the Wagner School of Public Service has a great urban planning program, and I had gotten exposed to it during my undergraduate years, where professors like Mitchell Moss and Walter Stafford came and told us about Wagner. I thought it was a great opportunity to further understand, expand my understanding of cities in New York, and really pave the way for a career in helping to build New York City.
So now you have your undergraduate, you have your graduate, you have the Teach America experience, you have all of this. It's time to get a job. And what's the opportunity out there?
Well, I actually started working while I was in graduate school at the Hunts Point Economic Development Corporation, doing economic development in the industrial area of Hunts Point.
Right, and this is before the fish market moved in.
Exactly.
The produce market was already there.
Correct. And the meat market was already there, but the fish market was a discussion at the time.
And tell me about your responsibilities over there.
It was really working with industrial companies to understand what could be done from a government perspective to help them grow and expand, acknowledging that it was not easy to be an industrial company in New York City. There were certain programs that they could access at the city level, at the state level, through the utilities to help them reduce their operating costs and therefore, operate within and ultimately create jobs within New York City.
You were born in the Bronx, okay? You went to school in Manhattan. You went back to the Bronx. Now, how do you end up in East New York, Brooklyn?
Well, when it came time to graduate from grad school and work full-time, I got an offer at the Local Development Corporation of East New York. Very similar work, industrial companies in the East New York area. And I ran their economic development department for about 1.5 years.
Now, what do you mean economic development? What are the responsibilities of economic development?
To basically do everything possible to spur, in this case, industrial companies to invest in a locality, in this case East New York, and to create jobs within that locality.
So what companies grew at that time to go open in East New York? It's not the easiest market in the world to get into.
It was actually an amazing collection of companies, Michael. There was a coffee roaster that we helped attract to the area that's still there called Henna Coffee. There was actually a company that manufactured carousels. There were companies that were food manufacturers. There were display manufacturers.
Right, because there are economic incentives that people aren't aware of.
Exactly.
By going into these communities.
Correct. These very targeted areas where employment tends to be a little bit lower.
What happens next?
I was actually approached by a guy named Kenneth Adams, who you know, who at the time
was at the Chamber of Commerce.
ran the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, and he.
But this is before Brooklyn was chic.
Exactly. It was just starting
to get a little chic, okay? There was a little technology. And
exactly. A few restaurants on Smith Street.
Right, but it wasn't really the Brooklyn of the Brooklyn.
Correct.
So this is what year, 1999?
1999, exactly.
So Ken Adams, who really did a very good job at the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And later on in life continues to help you in other areas.
Exactly.
Hey, says, hey kid, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, and the opportunity was to help the Brooklyn Chamber start a real estate department, acknowledging that Brooklyn was becoming hip and there was more investment poised to be made in all areas of Brooklyn. So my charge there was to basically lead their efforts towards business attraction and business retention. It ran the gamut of businesses from industrial to retail to more traditional commercial office tenants.
But a good portion of it was also tech companies,
Exactly.
right? A large technology, because this was before, it was the internet craze of 1999, 2000, 2001, and then the world changed on the internet craze over there.
Exactly.
So you're working for the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, and what's the next opportunity happens?
The next opportunity that happens was I was approached by the Chief of Staff to Deputy Mayor Dan Doctoroff about joining the Bloomberg administration in January of 2002. And talk about an offer that you couldn't refuse.
You could not refuse. So you were with the Bloomberg administration for how many years?
For 4.5 years.
4.5 interesting years with one of the most dynamic mayors we've ever had, and also working with Dan Doctoroff and
Exactly.
Sharon, I think.
Sharon Greenberg as well. Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about those 4.5 years. What did you see and what was accomplished? Because Mike was very instrumental and Dan was involved, and you were even working on something called the Olympics, right?
Exactly. I got such a great insight into not only city government, but planning on a massive scale. The mayor had a very aggressive economic development agenda that was really spearheaded by Dan Doctoroff. And early on in January of 2002, Mayor and Dan said, our approach to economic development is going to be 5 boroughs, and it's going to touch every community in New York City. And we're going to use all the tools that government has. Obviously, they're limited, but between money and land use power and their regulating agencies to try to grow the economy of New York City during this very challenged time post 9/11.
Right. So certain of the projects you worked on at that
I worked
time?
on the downtown Brooklyn rezoning, which was actually something that I ended up working on in
Later
a much
on, but we'll
greater,
get to- right.
We'll get to that. The Greenpoint Williamsburg rezoning, the New York City's bid for the 2012 Olympics, and also I worked on the initial months of Plan YC, the mayor's sustainability and growth plan for the future.
At that time, were you living in Brooklyn?
I was living in
So
Brooklyn.
you're living in Brooklyn, you were married,
Yep.
okay? And there's an opportunity again in Brooklyn, but with some visionaries, Bob Cattell, Alan Fishman,
Yep.
and the guy from the Brooklyn Academy of Music,
Harvey Lichtenstein.
Harvey
Yep.
Lichtenstein. And they say, hey, kid, you've been around a great deal. You've been involved with the development plan for downtown Brooklyn when you're working for the mayor. We're thinking of creating something called the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership, right?
Exactly. So that was 2006, Michael, and
Tell me what the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership was. I know there was Harvey over there for the arts, okay? I know there was Bob and Alan for business, and there were other leaders like my friend Josh Muss and a number of other people.
Exactly. So, simply put, there was a community that was the downtown, kind of a civic leadership to a downtown of 2.5 million people. However, there was not the infrastructure there in terms of one organization that would work with the many stakeholders, whether they were business leaders or arts leaders or academic leaders, to coordinate a plan for growth in that downtown. So that's what the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership
I mean,
became.
because what happened was at that time, you know, the rezoning had been approved, and all of a sudden you have all these new apartment houses, these new office buildings. At that time, there weren't really plans for new office buildings. You know, City Point was a vision,
Exactly.
but it wasn't something, you know, they said, City Point, we're going to build this huge retail mall with potential office space and office towers on it. People didn't realize there were very few hotels at that time. The Marriott at the Brooklyn Bridge was the hotel.
Exactly.
But a couple of other hotels were opening up. So this was a massive job for downtown Brooklyn. I mean,
Absolutely, and there were many pioneers like Josh Muss with the New York Marriott and Bruce Ratner with MetroTech that had really started kind of showing the potential of what downtown Brooklyn could become. And the Bloomberg administration realized that there was real potential there, particularly with the arts community and the academic community, and wanted to work with the private sector really in an unprecedented way to create a public-private partnership that would make sure that downtown Brooklyn happened expeditiously.
So what were the major programs that you could feel that you accomplished during that period of time in downtown Brooklyn?
Well, there were a few. First, there was basically a series of public improvements to create a sense and place in downtown Brooklyn. So there were streetscape improvements, they were smaller open spaces that would really transform the look and the feel of downtown Brooklyn and welcome in those new residents and those new employees. We also worked very actively on the business attraction front to draw in new companies, both kind of traditional financial and
also
office
working
tenants.
because there was a major work in Dumbo.
Exactly.
Significant amount of work in Dumbo over there.
There was a ton of work in Dumbo, and because of that great work that the Walentises did, there were companies that never considered Brooklyn before.
Right, and there was also the Empire Stores.
Exactly.
Were part of that over there.
The technology companies and architects started coming to Brooklyn, and our job was to really capitalize on that wave.
So over there, then it's Ken Adams again. So what does Ken say to you now?
So Kenneth Adams in 2011 becomes the head of Empire State Development, the state's economic development entity, and once again says, I'd like you to run the real estate division and our public-private partnerships.
That role had certain major projects that you did. Let's talk about some of them.
Sure. Well, the one that really kept me the most busy was a project called Moynihan Station, which was converting the old Farley Post Office building right behind Madison Square Garden into a train hall that's the size of the train hall at Grand Central Terminal and 700,000 square feet of office and retail space.
And which is finally going to come to fruition eventually over the net.
Correct. It's actually going to, the joint venture of Related and Vornado are going to break ground on that pretty imminently.
So that's one project. And another project which was major for you during that time was the Javits Center.
Exactly. And the expansion of the Javits Center. The Javits Center is an incredibly well-utilized convention center. However, it lacks a number of things that will make it competitive moving forward. Meeting room space that would allow them to attract premium shows and shows that result in more hotel nights in terms of guests. There's also not a major kind of gathering space, you could call it a ballroom, at Javits right now. And for New York City's convention center,
you need a ballroom.
You need a ballroom.
You need a ballroom, and that's especially right now with the Waldorf closing.
Correct.
The loss of the ballroom is having a major effect on certain venues coming to New York City for a couple of years because it's going to be 3 years or more for the Waldorf.
Exactly.
So you need that type of facility in a city like New York. Now, so you're over there. We're going to get back to Horizons because I can't forget about Horizons. You're over there, and then Sharon, who you had worked with before in the Bloomberg administration, had recently gone over and had become president of the YMCA. But had you ever been to the Y?
I had been to the Y. I actually spent some of my summers after or during my high school years cutting weight at the Y for summer wrestling tournaments. So I wouldn't say they were the most pleasant experiences, but
so you joined the Y when? November?
I joined the Y in October of 2016.
And your role today is what?
Is running real estate and properties for the Y. So we've actually in New York City.
Of Greater New York.
Of Greater New York, which is all the YMCA's in New York City. We've got a portfolio of about 1.6 million properties, very diverse portfolio, which includes everything from health and wellness facilities to what we call guest rooms, which are former SRO rooms, which we essentially rent out as hostel type space.
So let's talk about giving back. Another thing was Horizon.
Yeah.
Horizon has been in your life since you were in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
So tell me what you did in Brooklyn with Horizon.
Well, this was arguably the most empowering thing that I've ever done in my life. I was sitting on the board of a group called Horizons National, which helps create Horizons programs throughout the country. The one in New Canaan Country School ran as an independent organization for 30 years, and then they said, let's replicate this. So I joined the board, and in 2006, we partnered with Brooklyn Friends School, which is actually in downtown Brooklyn, literally right next to Josh Muss's hotel, and they said, we want to do a Horizons program. And at the time, I was at the Downtown Brooklyn Partnership. So I worked with the former head of school to create a Horizons program on the Brooklyn Friends campus, and it's now celebrating its 10th year anniversary.
Should be proud of it, and I know you are proud of that. And besides that, you're also proud of your daughters. Tell me about your daughters.
I'm incredibly proud of them. I have two daughters. Liv and Isela. Liv is 13 and in 8th grade. Isela is 11 and in 6th grade.
And tell me about the marathon. How did you get involved with running the marathon?
Well, I am an avid runner. I actually started running, or I've always run to train for wrestling, but got pretty serious about it right when I turned 40. I thought I could break a certain time for a half marathon. So I started training seriously, and since then have kind of challenged myself at the marathon distance and shorter distances. But I run about a marathon a year.
Now, since you were such an avid wrestler, which even gave you a scholarship in some other situations, do you still keep involved with wrestling for teaching anyone?
Well, I do. I keep in touch with my friends from the NYU wrestling team and, the NYU wrestling team, and actually still actively track college and
What about
national
mentoring
wrestling.
young kids in wrestling?
Not anymore. I actually had done that when I was at Teach for America, but I've kind of fallen out of practice.
So, it's fortuitous and interesting, the career. And what's more interesting is for a young guy to really take the responsibility of giving back. And you've given back, and you've helped the city of New York. And thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much, Michael.